Alright, so section 5.6, using linear models to make estimates and predictions. We're going to be going back to the examples 27, 28, 29, and 30 that we did back in the last section 5.5. Now, we're going to be looking at a company that makes jigsaw puzzles that can make 200 puzzles for $6,400 and 1,000 puzzles for $7,000. Now, I noticed, I'm a little bit embarrassed to say that I made a mistake when we did this earlier. I apologize for any inconvenience to you and anything that you were like, what? I don't get it. What did I do wrong? Anyway, I made an error when I put in 2,000 first of all here, and then when I multiplied this, I should have gotten 150, and then this and this adding up to be 6,250. So this is what our model should have looked like. Remember, we found the slope first, then plugging that into point slope form with one of the ordered pairs, and then arriving at our model, which should have been this. I apologize. Now, using this model, we're going to make a prediction. So this says that we're going to use the model to find out C of P is equal to 84 when C of P is equal to 8,400. So C of P is equal to 8,400. That means we're substituting in for that C of P, that we're putting in 8,400 there, and then that equals 3/4 P, and then plus 6,250. And now from there we'll solve that for the remaining variables. So we're going to subtract 6,250 from both sides, going to add the opposite of 6,250 in other words, and now we're going to end up with, on the right side, 3/4 P, and then that's equaling and 0 and borrowing here, and 5, and 3 minus 2 is 1, and 8 minus 6 is 2. And then we're going to multiply by the reciprocal 4/3 here, and multiply by the reciprocal 4/3 here as well. And now we'll be able to go ahead and do this. So 2150 divided by 3, and then multiply that by 4, and that's going to give us that P is equal to, and that's 2866.66666, so on and so forth, repeating. And so now what we're going to have to say is that if we put in that P was 2,866, we wouldn't quite be to $8,400. And if we put in 2,867, we're going to be a little bit higher. So we're just going to round it off and say approximately 2,867, and these things are puzzles. And that's going to be our final answer on that one. It's just an approximation, and you're going to find out that that's the case many times. And next we'll do example number 34, which will be a repeat of our example number 28, in which case that we found that the revenue for these puzzles that we were making was going to look like 5P. And you can see that this is correct because when we put in P equals 200 puzzles, we get 1,000 out. And so now, moving on from that one, it says use the linear model to find out how many puzzles will need to be sold to make $10,000. So in other words, we're being asked to find when does R of P equal to $10,000. And so we're going to say 10,000 is equal to 5P, and we're being asked to find out when that happens. And so dividing both sides by 5, 5 will go into 10 2 times, and then there's 3 zeros, and now we see that P is equal to 2,000, and we can say those are puzzles. Now in the next video when we come back, we're going to be solving the last two examples here, number 35 and 36.